Hello friends, we are going to discuss about the problem triple sort. You will be given a permutation of n numbers. Now what do you mean by a permutation of n numbers? For example, if n is equal to 5, then numbers from 1 to 5, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be given in a jumbled order. Like n is equal to 5. So these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be given in a jumbled order like 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 or 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. So they will give these numbers in the jumbled order. Now your aim is to sort these permutation of n numbers in the increasing order. So if it is like 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, you have to make it in increasing order. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you have to sort these permutation of n numbers in increasing order with one condition. Now let's see about that condition. So you have to choose three index values. That is index. I take n is equal to 5. So 5, 4, 2, 1 and 3. So we have to choose three index values, and these three index values should be pairwise distinct, and it can be in any order, that is increasing or decreasing or any order. Okay. So I choose 2, 4, 1. Now I have chosen 2, 4, 1, which are pairwise distinct. Okay. Now you have to perform a right cyclic shift. Now what do you mean by a right cyclic shift? That means I have chosen three indexes. My first index is 2. My second index is 4, and then my third index is 1, and their corresponding values are 4, and then 1, and then 5. Now I have to perform a right cyclic shift for this. So 4 should go here, 1 should go here, and then this 5 should go to the index value 2. That means index value 2, 4, 1. This 4 will go here, and then this 1 should go here, and then this 5 should come to the index value 2. So this is known as a right cyclic shift. Now correspondingly change here. That means in 2 you will get 5. In the index value 4 you will get 4, and index value 1 you will get 1. So you have to perform a right cyclic shift for the selected three indices which are pairwise distinct. Now your aim is to perform right cyclic shifts and then sort the given permutation of n numbers in the increasing order. But there's a problem in that. You will be given a value k. That k value will be equal to n by 2. For example, if n is equal to 5, then 5 by 2 is 2. You have to take the integer value of that. So you have to perform at most k operations to perform this right cyclic shift. If you are not able to perform up till k, and if your number of operations are exceeding k, then you have to print a -1. Else, if you are able to sort the given permutation of n numbers in the increasing order, then you have to print the selected indices for each operation. Now let's see about the constraints. The given n value will be in the range 3 to 2 into 10 power 5. So your logic complexity should be either O of n or O of n log n. And then each pi value. Pi value means the given input. The given input will be either in the range 1 to n. And then this pi value will be pairwise distinct. Now let's discuss about the solution for this triple sort question. Now you are given n is equal to 8. A permutation of 8 numbers in the non-increasing order, that is 8, 5, 1, 3, 4, 7, 6, 2. Now your aim is to sort the given numbers, okay, using that particular condition within k steps. For this, k is equal to n by 2, that is 4. Okay. Now let's move on to the logic. In the first index you have the value 8, but this 8 should be placed in the 8th index, and similarly we have 2 in the 8th index. This value 2 should be placed in the second index. So after completing of k steps, your array should look like this. For example, if I take n is equal to 3, if I take n is equal to 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is the index value, these are the values. So for this k will be equal to 1. So after one operation, 1 should be placed in the one index, 2 values should be placed in the second index, and 3 should be placed in the third index. So similarly, all the values should be placed in the corresponding index, and this is how it should look like after k number of operations. Also, we have k is equal to 4. So we have 4 operations. So in each operations, you have to place at least 2 elements in their corresponding index values, because total 8. So if you place 2 values in their corresponding index in each operation, then you get a total of 8 elements after the k number of operations. That means k elements will be placed after the k number of operations. Okay, so therefore in each step you have to place at least 2 elements in their corresponding positions. First, in the index 1 we have the value 8. Okay, and then this 8 should be placed in the 8th index. Also, this value 2 is in the 8th index. This 2 should be placed in the second index. So now I have to choose 3 index values. Index value. And I'm starting from 1 and then traversing till n. In the first operation, I'm taking 1 index. This in the 1 index we have 8. 8 should be placed in the 8th index. So 8, and then 2. We have 2 here, so 2 should be placed in the second index. And then I'm going to write the corresponding values. In the first index we have 8. In the 8th index we have 2, and in the second index we have 5. Now I'm going to perform a right cyclic shift. Before that, we have to check whether we have chosen a pairwise distinct indices 1, 8, 2. Yes, they are pairwise distinct. Therefore, now we can perform a right cyclic shift. 8 will go to the 8th index, 2 will go to the second index, 5 will go to the first index. So 1, 8, 2, 8 comes here, 2 comes here, and then 5 goes to the first index. Now you can see that 8 is placed in the 8th index, 2 is placed in the second index. Also, they are pairwise distinct. Therefore, at least 2 elements are placed in their corresponding indices. So therefore, I can shift the corresponding values. So now I have value 5 in the first index. Now 8 in the 8th index. And then 2 in the second index. So my first operation is 1, 8 and 2. 1, 8 and 2. I have completed for the first one. You can ask me that in the first index you don't have the value 1, but how can I move to the second index? Don't worry, because in the future 1 will come and this 1 will go to the first index using the right cyclic shift operation which I have shown you. So we can now move on to the second index. Now I am in the second index. Now 2 is placed in the second index, so no need to worry. So you can move on to the next index. Next you come to the third index. Now you see there's a value 1. This 1 should go to the first index. So initially I am writing 3. This 1 has to go to the first index. So value 1 here, and then we have value 5 in the first index. So this value 5 should go to the fifth index. So I am writing value 5 here. The third index I have value 1. The first index I have value 5, and in the fifth index I have value 4. Now I have to perform the right cyclic shift. Before that, 3, 1, 5. Yes, they are pairwise distinct. Now I am performing a right cyclic shift. Now 3, 1, 5. This 1 will go here in the first index. This 5 will come to the fifth index, and then this 4 will come to the third index. Also, 1 I have placed in the first index. 5 I have placed in the fifth index. Yes, at least 2 elements are placed. Therefore, I can this is 4. So therefore, I can change the corresponding values. The third index is 4. The first index it's 1, and then the fifth index it's 5. Now, so in the second operation, my indices are 3, 1 and 5. 3, 1 and 5. I have completed that for the third index. Now I am going to the fourth index. In the fourth index, I have the value 3. This 3 has to go to the third index. So initially 4, and then this 3 has to go to the third index. 3, and then in the index 3 we have value 4, but this value 4 should go to the fourth index. Now you can see that 4, 3, 4 is not pairwise distinct. Therefore, I cannot select my third indices as 4. Now, I am going to select some other index value. For example, 6. Okay. So, I have corresponding value 3, and then in 3 I have 4, and then in 6 I have 7. 4, 3, 6. Yes, they are pairwise distinct. So, I can perform a right cyclic shift. 4, 3, 6. 3 comes to the third index, 4 comes to the sixth index, 7 comes to the fourth index. Now you can see that 3 is placed in its corresponding index, 7 it is not placed in its corresponding index, also 4 is not placed in its corresponding index. So therefore here only one elements get placed in the corresponding index. So our criteria is at least 2 elements should be placed. So therefore I am not changing the corresponding values. Since this 4, 3 and 3, 4 is forming a pair, I am going to separately store these values. So 3 and 4. Now before moving on to the next index, I am going to show you a sample test case. For n is equal to 4, we have index 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 3, 2, 1 are the values. Okay, now you have in the first index you have 4, similarly on the fourth index you have value 1. So similarly this is forming a pair. Also in the second index you have value 3, in the third index you have value 2. This is forming a pair. So now you have two pairs, that is 1, 4 and 2, 3. Now initially I am at the first position. I am taking the index 1. Now where this 4 go? This 4 should go to the fourth index. So I am writing 4. And then now in the fourth index you have value 1. But you can't write 1 here because we need a pairwise distinct indices. So therefore I am going to choose any number, that is 2 or 3. You can choose any number. So I am choosing 3. So its corresponding values are 4. Fourth index you have 1. And then in the third index you have value 2. Now 1, 4, 3, yes, they are pairwise distinct. Therefore I am going to perform a right cyclic shift. 4 goes here, 1 goes here, and then 2 comes here. So 1, 4, 3, 4 comes here, and then 1 comes here, and then 2 goes here. So now you can see that only one value is placed, but it's okay. So now I am going to change the values. In fourth index you have 4. In the third index you have value 1, and then in the first index you have the value 2. For this k is equal to 4 by 2, that is 2. Now what I am going to do is, see, 4 is placed, so no need to worry about that. This 2, 3, 1, but this is not placed. So I can say that in the first operation I have placed one element. So my last operation, that is the second operation, I have to place all the 3 elements. Okay, that is my aim. Now for this, in the first index you have value 2. This 2 has to go to the second index. So I am choosing 1, and then this 2 has to go to the second index. So 2, and then in second index you have the value 3. This 3 has to go to the third index. So I am writing its corresponding values. In 1 we have 2, in 2 we have 3, in 3 we have 1. So therefore 1, 2, 3 are pairwise distinct. Yes. So now I am going to perform a right cyclic shift. So 1, 2 and 3. 2 goes to the second index, 3 goes to the third index, and 1 comes to the first index. Yes, now you can see that all 3 elements are placed. That is, so in the first step we got only 1 value placed, but in the second step we have 3 values placed, which meets this criteria. That is, in 2 steps we are placing 4 elements. That is correct. So therefore, if you are getting a pair, just store it. Okay. Then in the 5th index we have the value 5, so we can just move on. In the 6th index we have 7. Similarly, in the 7th index we have 6. So I am just storing pair 7, 6. So now you have 2 pairs. It means if you have 2 pairs, then you can sort the given 2 pairs in 2 steps. Okay. You can write these 3, 4, 7, 6 in any order. 3, 4, 7, 6. In the 3rd index you have value 4. In the 4th index you have value 3. In the 7th index you have value 6. In the 6th index you have value 7. Similarly, I'm choosing the first index 3, and then you have value 4 in it. This 4 has to go to the 4th index, that is 4. Now you have value 3, but you can't write 3 as your 3rd index because we need pairwise distinct numbers. So therefore you can choose either 6 or 7. I'm choosing 7. So I'm writing its corresponding values. In 3rd index we have 4. In 4th index we have 3. In 7th index we have 6. So 3, 4, 7 are pairwise distinct. So therefore now I can perform a right cyclic shift. So 3, 4 and 7. So 4 comes to the 4th index, and then 3 comes to the 7th index, 6 goes to the 3rd index. Yes, 6 goes to the index. So now you can see that only 1 element is placed. Doesn't matter. In the next step you will try to place all the 3 elements in one step. So I'm just changing the corresponding values. In the 4th index it's 4. In the 3rd index it's 6. And then in the 7th index we have the value 3. So my operation is 3, 4 and then 7. Now I have only one operation left, and in that operation I have to place 3 elements. Okay. Now similarly I am choosing the first index 3. So 3. In the 3rd index you have the value 6. This 6 should be placed in the 6th index. So next index is 6, and then in the 6th index you have the value 7. So 7 should be placed in the 7th index. So 3, 6 and 7. Now I am writing its corresponding values. In the 3rd index we have the value 6. In the 6th index we have the value 7, and in the 7th index we have the value 3. Now 3, 6, 7 are my indices. They are pairwise distinct. Therefore it's correct. Now I can perform a right cyclic shift. Now 6 goes here, 7 goes here, 3 comes here. So 3, 6 and 7. 6 comes here, 7 goes here and 3 comes here. Now you can see that all the 3 elements are placed. Therefore now I can change, which also meets this criteria. So in 3rd index we have 3. In the 7th index we have 7. And in the 6th index we have 6. Now in the 4th operation my indices are 3, 6 and 7. 3, 6 and 7. Now I am going to change in the main. So in the 3rd index you have 3, and then in the 4th index you have the value 4, and then in the 7th index I have the value 7. In the 6th index I have the value 6. Okay. Now you go to the 7th element, 7 is placed. 8th element, 8 is placed. Now you can see all the elements are sorted in the increasing order, and we have performed it within k steps, that is within 4 steps. So therefore this is a valid operation. And then let's talk about the -1 case. For example, if we have like this 8 and 7 at the last, so what will happen is 8 and 7 will get stored, but we need another pair to sort to sort that 8 and 7, but we don't have any pair. So therefore, if we have a single pair element at the end of the n, so that is a -1 case. You can't sort that particular permutation numbers within k operations. Okay. Now about the complexity, I am traversing from 1 to n, therefore the complexity is O of n.
Let's see the code for triple sort question. I am traversing from 1 to n. Inside the for loop, I am checking whether the element is placed in its index, that is 2 should be placed in the second index. So that's what previous array stores. Yes, if it is placed means you can continue. Else I am checking whether a pair is formed. That means if 6 is placed in the 7th index and 7 is placed in the 6th index. So I am checking whether a pair is formed or not. Yes, if a pair is formed, and also you also have another pair means then you can sort these 4 elements in 2 steps as we have discussed in the video. Yeah, in the first step we can place one element, and in the second step we can place all the 3 other elements. When you encounter a pair and if you don't have another pair to sort, then what will you do? Then you have to just store these pairs and you have to continue. And let's come to the else case of it. Else case is the normal case, like in 4th index you have 5, in the 5th index you have some other number. So in this step you are going to place at least 2 elements in their position. Yes, that's what I am doing here. And also after performing a right cyclic shift, I am checking whether a pair is formed or not. Yes, if a pair is formed, I am checking whether I have one more pair for it. So I am checking whether a pair is formed or not. If L is equal to 1, that means if I have one more pair, then I can sort it in 2 steps as mentioned above. Else I have to continue. And then after your main for loop, I am just traversing from 1 to n, checking whether all the elements are placed in its corresponding positions. So I have a count variable for that. Yes, if count is equal to n, and then m is the number of steps that I have performed, and if m is less than equal to k, then you can print all the indices. Else you have to print -1. Thank you.